To deliver now the next address, I invite Professor T.G.K. Murthy, sir. I would love to give him the short intro. He's a senior space scientist and ex-program director of ISRO with over 42 years of experience. He is a scientific advisor at RC, International Center for Powder Metallurgy and Material Science of the Government of India. Sir is a gold medalist, graduate at graduation as well as at the post-graduation. He is a PhD in applied physics from the University of Adelaide, Australia. He has over 100 research papers published in international journals, 10 patents, contributed to majorly these all fields: agriculture, geology, defense, and space sciences. Sir has several awards to his credit, out of which 6 are given by NRDC, Government of India Awards, and the Outstanding Achievement Award of ISRO. So we are proud to have you, sir, here. And we look forward to the presentation. Sir will be speaking about enlightening experiences in the light of light quanta.
My salutations to Swamijis and Prabhudasjis of ISKCON sitting over here and watching these things online all over the globe. My extreme pranams to all of them. My salutations to the distinguished audience sitting in the hall as well as outside who are attending to this conference online. Gurudas Swamiji, he has already put the seed of what the conference is going to be. I can only add just a little to that as an extension. My talk will be enlightening experiences in the light of light quanta. You see, if we look at first glance, the enlightening experiences, they are nothing but metaphysical experiences, metaphysical perceptions, metaphysical postulations, metaphysical universe, everything related to that enlightening experiences. But when you come to the light of light quanta, all you know very well, light by itself is light, and the light is carried by the fundamental particles, the quantum particles, quanta, light quanta. So this light quanta is scientific. So on the surface, you may see how these east and west can join together. This is one of the things that unravels probably that what is happening in the 20th century. So I'll go well on this subject a little bit in the next few minutes. You see, the enlightening experiences, as I was telling, is it totally different, its approach to that of the science. Whether it is science or enlightening experiences, I'm a little bit of being aware of using the word spirituality specifically. This enlightening experiences and as well as the science, you see fundamentally, you have yama, niyama, pratyahara, dharana is very, very common. Any scientist, he forgoes many of the things. He gives up many of the things. He concentrates. There is no way for a scientist to be a scientist. And in the enlightening side also, they have to have the yama, niyama, pratyahara, dharana. But over and above that one comes here the difference, jhana and samadhi. This jhana and samadhi is very, very specific to the enlightening experiences, which is not jhana and samadhi. In science, whether it happens or not, I will touch if time is there on that one. But for the time being at the surface level, probably this major difference we have to see. Normally, people will not accept it, but it is a fact. That is one thing. And in the case of the science, we are observing about the universe outside. This is nothing but phenomena. A phenomena you are observing, you are trying to understand it. For that one, what you are using, the instruments and the five senses and the mind. These things are there. And what they are trying to probe, all the science at fragmentary level, at atomic level, they are probing what is the truth behind that one, and finally to find out what is the reality behind all these things, whether there is a unity governing behind that one. So searching in diversity, a unity is the goal of the science, and the enlightening experience. If you see here, as I said, jhana and samadhi are different. What it means, the observer superposes on the observation or the observed. This is samadhi. In the samadhi, the practitioner, he superposes on the object that what he is trying to find the truth. Now that what we call as noumenon. If you say, if they are superposing, it is something like a salt doll trying to measure the depth of the sea. A salt doll going to measure the depth of the sea. After some time, what happens? The salt doll measures with the sea. And who is there to tell what is the truth? Now in this noumenon, who is there to tell what? This is one of the fundamental questions. This is the reason why the scientists, they say all the enlightening experiences, now at this stage I use the word spiritual experiences, the scientists, they call it as subjective, because there is no observer who has come out and told this is this. That's why it is subjective. But whereas our science is objective. But here comes the major problem. The problem of the observer is always, whether he uses the instruments or not, away from the observed, which means observer is away from the observation. In these two things, is there any major difference? If I see between the spirituality and science, the major difference is that in the case of the science, so always the observer is isolated from the observation. But whereas in the enlightening experiences, the observer is superposing or merging himself with the object of observation. In that phenomena, what happens? Is there any major difference is there? Let us see. You see, in the case of the enlightening experiences, by merging with that one, if you look, some of you must be knowing Surya Siddhānta. In Surya Siddhānta, the oldest treatise that what we have in our hands about the astronomy or any other thing, in that one of the sutras says, the observer by superposing on the observed, when he does that one and merges himself, the object reveals its secrets. When it reveals its secrets, he has to bring them back when he is losing the samadhi and coming back to the normal conscious state. That is the thing that what happens. This is how all our Vedanta, all our Purāṇas, all our Itihasas, our Bhagavad Gita, the entire knowledge of the ancient knowledge, which contains not only the spiritual knowledge, but also embedded with the scientific knowledge inside that one. So this one, what happened? Our ancient rishis, they merged themselves on the object of the observation. For example, maybe it is universe, maybe it is something else. That is how either Taittiriya Upanishad or Mandukya Upanishad or Vedantic Upanishad, or any of the things which they are all full, nothing but science, embedded into that one, all that knowledge has come. And that knowledge is, now, what is happening over the period of the time, somebody has transported this one, India has been invaded, and much of our knowledge has gone. And they dug that within that one. And some of the Nobel laureates, they say, they had a puzzle of the quantum physics, but they say, especially Schrödinger, I found solutions for quantum mechanics in Vedanta. In Vedanta. Here lies how the overlapping is coming. The Nobel laureates themselves, they are saying, in Vedanta, we find solutions for the major critical problems of this latest phenomena of quantum mechanics. After saying that enlightening experiences by matching the observer on the object, not only he gets the transcendental experience of uniqueness, I'll come to that one a little bit later. Not only that one, he gets the knowledge of the external world too. It is not the science above the spirituality alone. He gets the knowledge of the science also, he gets on that one. So with this knowledge, that by superposing that one. Now, in the pure science, when observer is away from the observed, what is the major problem? Earlier, the objective science, things alone are science, they said. Later, inference also, they said, science will accept it. And later, the experience also is accepted as scientific evidence that what the science is coming to the point. Why? The reason is that the observer effect. When an observer is seeing the world, when observer is doing the experiment, they are not telling the truth. They are telling something different. And especially this is the case in the case of the quanta. When you observe, it is a particle. But if you don't observe, it is a wave. Now the question is quantum duality, whether it is a particle or a wave. What is the secret? What is the reality of that one? We don't know. But the observer, he cannot isolate, he cannot merge himself and find out what is it. When he is away and trying to find the probe of that one, this is playing the tricks of either behave as a particle or behave as a wave. Even in common sense in our world, in our day-to-day world, let us see, I want to see a person X. When before I see the person X behavior is something different. The moment I see the X, the behavior of the person X definitely changes, whether we notice it or not. Or in other words, in a normal day-to-day life itself, the observer has got an effect on the observed. So in science, at the fundamental particles, quantum physics especially, it behaves as a quanta or a wave depending upon the observer. So this puzzle. So now how you can take away the observer and still make the observations and all the other thing? If that is the truth, the universe, what we are seeing around us, is it really real? Or is it imaginary? Or is it superposition? Or are there multi-universes? Many of the problems are cropping up because of this observer effect. Now, I go back a little bit of light quanta. For this light, Einstein, he proposed the theory of in space and time, energy and matter are one and the same. But this energy and matter are interconnected through an equation E is equal to mc square, where c is the velocity of light, and the velocity of the light is supposed to be the fundamental, and that light travels as quanta. Einstein is the first person who named as a quanta for the light particle. But later he realized, even before him, Young's experiment was there, double slit experiment. In that one, they found both light behaving as particle as well as a wave. So this light quanta origin traces back to the Einstein. Now, what is the beauty of this quanta? This light quanta, even though it behaves the duality as quantum as well as a wave, it can entangle. It can behave as dual state of existence, and it can superpose. It can superpose. These three fundamental properties the scientists have found. This entanglement, when first brought to the notice of the Einstein, it is a spooky that what he said, because he could not believe this quantum, even though it is billions of kilometers away with the other particle, if they are entangled. If one quanta is changed its position or its some of the properties at billions of kilometers away without touching that one, the other quanta exactly behaves the same way. Exactly behaves the same way. That is what is quantum entanglement. And people who are talking about this one for the last 50 years, but latest one in 2022, these three Nobel laureates, they got Nobel Prize for quantum entanglement, finding that one experimentally. That right corner you see, the two quanta, one is on the Earth, the other one is billions of kilometers away. These two are entangled with each other, and they behave exactly the same way. Here I tell you a small story, probably I can take for 5 minutes, I think, madam. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, there is a story. Twins, they are entangled by birth, and they got married to entangled twins of two ladies. These entangled husbands and entangled wives, they gave birth to entangled children on the same day after the marriage. You see the beauty of the entanglement in the nature. Even if you want to disentangle, it is problematic. There are procedures how to disentangle. So this entanglement has got a very, very fundamental thing. Now, based on this quantum entanglement, quantum computers are coming, quantum communication is coming. In the next 20 years, the world, the life, what we live, will be totally different. Even in the last 20 years, dramatic change, the digital world has come. Even the digital world is going to go away with the quantum world. In this quantum world, all these dualities, all these entanglements, all these quantum informations, all these things are going to happen. Now, Murthy, you may say all these things, but how this quantum entanglement and to the enlightening experiences are connected together? Here comes the point. The way this quanta is entangled with the other quanta, and in the process they are interchanging the information and communication taking place. In the case of the entanglement, the observer doing with what is his mind. His mind by itself is a quanta. Mind, just like quanta, is shapeless, massless, weightless, and all these properties are there. This sadhaka, when he raises his mind from subconscious to conscious to superconscious and supraconscious state of mind, at that mind, he entangles with the universal mind. You see, the way the quanta, they are entangled, here, the observer and the universe of observation, they are getting entangled through the mind. The supraconscious mind is entangling with the universal mind. In the process, the universe is revealing its secrets of oneness or secrets of the principles, how they are laid to this, the individual mind. The individual mind, when it's come down, it brings back the information, though not 100%, partially. And they're all the truths that what are recorded in our Upanishads, Vedanta, and all the other things. So that's why this enlightening experiences are also scientific. They are also scientific. We cannot call it as something spiritual or anything. Now the border between the science and spirituality becoming very, very thin, and one is getting overlapped over the other. A day may come. Now, already the biophotonics in the mind, what is happening? At that one, the individual consciousness, the universal consciousness, all these things are going to be reveal the fundamental truth of the thing. Now the question comes, Murthy, you are saying about the universal mind. Is there any science behind that one? Bohm and Purāṇic, they call the universe has got a mind. They called it as holographic mind. And Shedlake, he called it as some other name he gave. So this universal mind is very popular and very common. Actually, our mind where it is, my mind where it is, I don't know. How do we know the mind of the universe to talk about? Mind has no location. Mind has no shape, no size, no property, but it has got all the essential characteristics of the emotions, feelings, levels of consciousness, and entanglement, and carrying of the informations and all the other things. So, my dear distinguished friends, with this one, I would like to say, I find parallels between the light quanta, the way they get entangled, and quantum communication is taking place and going to rule the world in the years to come. The enlightening experiences are also, the mind entanglement is taking place, has taken place, in fact. That's why in our Vedic period, those periods with that entangled mind, they got the information of the entire universe and its secrets. That is the reason why our astronomy, our astrology, or any of the mathematical things, the truths of that one, they have come out. Now the scientific people, they are finding out in the other way of observing of the things. Now, finally, what I would like to say is that the latest science truths are nothing but echoes of our ancient knowledge, Vedanta. Vedanta. So with this one, our generations to come must get prepared to see that one, the whole universe is one. We are one. Science and spirituality is one. Everything is one. If everything is one, we have to love each other and live harmoniously. My salutations to all the audience sitting over here for giving me the opportunity to say this small feeling of how this overlapping is there. That too profoundly supported by the Nobel laureates' works. With this one, I thank the management who gave me the opportunity. Special mention has to be made to Prema, Prema Gaurang Dasi. He was so spontaneous in responding to me. I was a little bit hesitant of coming over here, but he has taken away my hesitancy of coming over here, and I feel very fortunate to come over here. I thank him profusely and thank all the management who has supported him to call me over here. Thank you all.
Sir, indeed, it is our honor to have you here at the conference. You very well have drawn the parallels between the two phenomena of observation as a scientist and as a spiritual sadhaka. You have rightly pointed out, however, the difference where the dhyan and samadhi help superposition by the object of study, revealing the super secrets, or as Lord says, guhyam guhyataram jnanam. And the counter argument that you gave towards that the observer needs to be isolated from observation, I think we all believe a little more into the science of the spirituality, which is actually going to help us understand science better. You are an expert teacher, sir, and you have lightened the heavy subject of enlightening experiences of light quanta. I could also observe there is a meter in the title that you gave, even in English. So that's amazing. Thank you. We highly appreciate it.